Yes, listen students. So the next lesson in commerce, chapter 16, Consumerism. This is the next chapter. The topic is Introduction to Consumerism and the ways and means of the exploitation of consumers. So in this chapter, one of the various topics we are going to discuss, namely consumer, meaning of consumer, consumer exploitations, need for consumerism, significance of consumerism, origin, evolution and growth of consumerism, consumer protection and needs of consumer protection, role of business, government and consumer in consumer protection, United Nations guidelines regarding the consumer protection, consumer legislations, Consumer Protection Act, caveat emptor and caveat venditor. So these are the topics which are going to see in chapter number 16. First of all, introduction. So before industrialization, the goods are used by the consumer or most of all agricultural products. The goods needed for the consumers are mostly produced by the agriculturist. So the consumer goods, if it is not any not produced by the agriculturist, that product only produced by the industrialist. So this was happened in before industrialization. So most of the goods are produced by the agriculturist, and the goods are consumed by the consumers, which are not able to produce by agriculture, they are only produced by the industrialist. Then after industrialization takes place, new variety of raw material, new techniques and new product also appeared in the market only after industrialization. So the producers, consumers and government are the three important constituents of the business. So who are the most important constituent of the business means producer, consumer and the government. So the consumer exploitations are nowadays takes place. So we must protect the consumer exploitation by way of following various legislation, implementation of various legislations. So there is a need of consumer protection and the consumer exploitation. There is a consumer exploitation and how to protect the consumer from such exploitation. So in this lesson, we are going to study about the ways and means of consumer exploitation and what is the protection for the consumer protection or consumer. What are all the protective measures for the consumers? So these are the important topics. Then who is called as consumer? That's the heading is consumer. Who is called as consumer? One who consumes the goods produced by the producer or sold by the seller, sold by anybody. So consumer means one who consumes the goods which are produced by or sold by the producer or the seller. So not only consuming of goods and also rendering or enjoying of services like transport, banking, insurance, hospitals and educational institutions. One who consumes the services also called as consumer. So we simply say consumer means one who consumes the goods and services which are produced by the producer or the sold by seller. And apart from the goods, the other important services, namely transport, banking, insurance, hospitals, and education institutions. These are some examples for services. So not only consuming of the product and also the services also called as consumer. So the Consumer Protection Act was passed in the year 1986. So give the definition or the meaning of consumer. The consumer means not one who buy the goods or services, not for resale. He is called as consumer. So according to Consumer Protection Act of 1986, consumer means one who buy the goods and services for consumption but not for resale. Not for resale is called as consumer. So nowadays consumer satisfaction is the most important objective of the organization. Every business firm or the industry, the most important objective is consumer satisfaction. And consumer is the king of business. Consumer is treated as a central power. So these are all only available in theoretical way, not in practice. So in the real situation, the consumers are exploited or cheated in many ways. So they are treated as just like slaves while purchasing of goods or commodities. And the consumers are worried about the quality of the product, price of the product, and the timeliness of the product available. They are not unable to find out what the product they needed. They are unable to know all these things regarding the quality, prices, and the timeliness of the availability of goods. This is all unable to find out by the consumer. So these are the information about the consumer. Consumer means one who buy the goods and and consuming of various services is called as consumer. According to Consumer Protection Act of 1986, one who buy the goods and services not for resale is called as consumer. And in reality, in theoretically, the consumer satisfaction is the most important objective of the business world. Consumer is the king of business and they treated as central power that are available only in the theoretical way, but in real situation, but in reality they are exploited and cheated in many ways. They are also treated as just like slaves. So the consumers are worried about the product what they needed. Then the next topic is consumer exploitation. In what are the ways the consumers are exploiting nowadays? Number one, selling at higher prices. So the producer or the seller charged the prices for the commodity more than the fair price. The producer or the seller fix the price for the commodities more than the fair price. How means the goods are available as surplus. They created as artificial scarcity. The goods are not available, and they created the atmosphere by way of artificial scarcity and push up the prices of the product. The using of this opportunity and increases the prices of the product and sold the same product in the black market. So they fix the price, or consumers are induced or consumers are forced to buy the product with a higher price. There is no other way to consume the goods. So simply they fix the price with a higher price more than the higher fair price, and they created the atmosphere as artificial scarcity for the product, and using of this opportunity push up the prices and earning of illegitimate profit in the black market. Next one, adulteration. Another way of exploitation of the consumer is adulteration. What do you mean by adulteration? mixing of product or material or substituting of undergrade product, undesirable material with the food items, mixing of or substituting of the material which are added with the food items which are undesirable. Mixing of, substituting of undesirable material in the food item, as well as mixing of inferior quality of material with the superior quality of the product is also known as adulteration. So, for example, heavy loss. If you are mixing with the low quality of product with high quality product, there will be a loss to the consumer, heavy loss to the consumer, and also spoil the health of the consumer. And the unscrupulous traders gained illegitimate profit. And the adulteration is a crime which cannot be pardoned. Adulteration is a crime which cannot be pardoned. Unscrupulous traders gain the illegitimate profit, and the adulteration is a crime which cannot be pardoned or not excused. So, what are the ways the adulteration can be taken place? In case of grains, the mixing of stuff with the grains, then the powdered rice or wheat. So, adulteration can be take place. Mixing of stones with the grains, then powdered rice or the wheat rice added with the starch, then coffee powder, the tamarind powder mixing with the tamarind seed powder mixing with the coffee powder, and then papaya seed add with the pepper, then bricks powder added with the. So, regarding the adulteration, the food grains are mixing with the stones. Then powdered rice or powdered wheat are added with the starch. Then tamarind seed powder added with the coffee powder. Papaya seed added with the pepper. Then green powder added with the chili powder, and some of the chemical and caustic soda added with the milk. Then water and table sugar added with the honey. These are some examples for adulteration of food items. So, adulteration means mixing or substituting of undesirable material in the food item or various products. And the third way of exploitation is duplicate goods. Nowadays, duplicate goods are available in a plenty manner in the name of popular product, or otherwise in the popular name of the product. The many duplicate products are available in the market. Every original product has its own duplicated product. So, for example, automobile spares, medicines, jewel items, household appliances, and even the currency note. The duplicates are available in plenty. And Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the duplicate products are available from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and the consumers are not able to identify which is original product and which is duplicate product. It is another way of exploitation of consumer. So, selling of duplicate goods in the hands of consumer is another way of exploitation. The consumer duplicated goods are available in all fields. For example, automobile spare parts, medicines, jewelries, various other items, electrical and electronic items, and even the currency note. And then the next one is artificial scarcity. Artificial scarcity means the goods are available in a plenty manner. However, they should create an artificial, the goods are not available as scarcity, and they fix the board or put the board on the in front of the shop, no stock, and goods are holding, and the goods are the same goods are sold in the black market and hide the price of the product and gaining of illegitimate profit. So this is especially taking place during the festival season. During the festival time, the important goods are stored in the godowns as hoarding, and they should be push up the prices of the product, and the consumers are induced or forced to buy the product with a higher price in the black market. That is known as artificial scarcity. For example, even the cinema theater tickets are sold in the black market. When the counter are closed, as put the board houseful, and the same ticket available in the black market with a higher price. The freely available, the ticket are available freely in the black market, while the board is shown as houseful in front of the cinema theater or in the cinema theater. So this is another way of exploitation of consumer is artificial scarcity. Originally or really the goods are available in plenty, but they should create scarcity artificially for gaining of ultimate profit. Illegitimate profit by the unscrupulous traders. So this is another way of exploitation of consumer. So there are 9 methods, there are 9 ways of consumer exploitation. So just now I have explained only 4 points. The remaining 5 points we will see in the next class. Okay, students, so far we have discussed about the introduction about the consumerism. I mean, position of product are supplied by supplied in the before industrialization and after industrialization. What should be the status of consumer from the point of view of producer, consumer, through the government, and give the meaning of consumer in the general way, and what should be the meaning of consumer according to Consumer Protection Act of 1986. And the next one is consumer exploitations. So the remaining things we will see in the next class.